it was almost a like, yeah, we know we're a live band. We know that's what everybody wants. And that's like kind of what like we've hung our hat on for however long we've been a band. But like also like we can do this too. Like we can make a really cool studio album. And then I think after coming out of Bluebeard, we were kind of like, yeah, let's get back to being a band again.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
exactly.
just like kind of like, let's plug up and play.
Don't come looking for me, I don't wanna be found. I've been running on empty, floating around and round. What you wanted from me, I can't give to you now. Tried to fix myself, but can't figure it out.
Joseph, Alec, the Brook and the Bluff. Thank you guys so much for coming down the boulevard.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Pleasure to be here.
I've been looking forward to this and getting familiar with the music. God, it's. I was saying this to Joseph when you guys were loading in, but in a town of so much talent, one thing in Nashville there's not very much of are just like true bands.
Just bands.
And,
yeah.
Which is so funny.
I know it's funny in a like a heartbreaking kind of way.
Right.
Yeah.
But the exception makes the example stand all the more.
There has to be an exception, so the rule exists. Right?
Totally.
Yeah.
So congrats on being the exception. That's what we all want to be.
Thank you.
Man, we should change our band name to that.
Yeah, the exceptions.
Well, on that note, I'm sure you guys get this question a lot in interviews, and instead of asking you how the band name came to be, let me say what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you tell me.
Ooh, this is a
correct.
first.
Yes.
Okay, so the Brook and the Bluff is in reference to the Brook is a neighborhood in Birmingham,
Yes. Correct.
and Mountain Brook
Correct.
is the school that I think all of you guys or many of you guys went to.
75%.
75%. Okay, that's a majority. And then the Bluff is another part of town.
Yes.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Another-
and who
yeah.
was it? Was somebody from the Bluff?
I'm the Bluff.
You're the Bluff.
I'm the lone Bluff. Yeah.
Bluff.
So it's Mountain Brook and Bluff Park. And when we started the band, Alec and I started the band in 2015. We were just an acoustic duo, and at the time it was perfect. It was like, okay, the Brook and the Bluff. You have us too.
One of each.
Yeah.
Two
And then
towns.
as we kept going on, like we just kept adding dudes from Mountain Brook. So the name just, I mean, we didn't want to change the name, but also it just kept being like, it kept fitting.
The Brook is now like became more and more of the
it was
anchor.
the
Yeah,
Brook
That's
we should have like a cube above above the Brook now, but we don't.
an umlaut.
Yeah.
A couple of umlauts in there.
the Brook.
How did you know that?
I do a little homework.
Just
You know,
a
I
little
try to be,
research?
I try to be
Yeah,
ready
okay.
as much as I can.
love it. I was waiting for just a wild guess, like,
And then
totally
just
out
being
of the
like
blue.
directly on. He's like, actually, I didn't read about you guys at all, but I think it's two neighborhoods in
I'm a big
Birmingham.
fan of Alabama geography.
Yes, Birmingham
Something
specific.
I know about.
It's actually Brookstone, the store in the mall.
Yeah.
And
What
I
else?
don't know what
What's
Bluff would be.
yeah, I don't know.
Was it a nice town to grow up in, Birmingham?
Yeah,
Is
great.
I don't think of it as like a musical town. Although my friend Drew will be pissed to hear that from Mountain
Sorry, Drew.
Radio. Do you know her?
compared to Birmingham Mountain Radio.
Yeah, Birmingham Mountain Radio. She's got a show on that.
We'll be there like in a few weeks. We're gonna be
Yeah,
so
yeah.
maybe we'll see
Oh,
Drew
we
and be
love
like,
them.
hey, Corby was
He was talking.
some shit about Birmingham. I would say it's like a sneaky musical town.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, I feel like there wasn't much going on for sure. But then, there's always been like this place called the Nick, which is like this crazy tiny venue under the overpass of like 65 and like the Spaghetti Monster where all the interstates run together in Birmingham. And throughout the 90s, like every it was like a rite of passage. Like if you were going through Birmingham, you had to play there. And I feel like a lot of those grunge bands and like things like that would come through. But I don't know that anybody was like Birmingham centric at that time.
It's a bigger scene than you'd think.
Yeah.
Being in Alabama, I feel like
Yeah.
there's a sneaky, like good underground like metal scene
Yes.
in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which clearly we're a part
A
of.
part of course.
As metal.
I would have
dudes.
called it.
As a metal band.
The
But
fingernails told me everything.
yeah, right.
Nails. The blue, almost
Yeah.
black nails.
There's always been cool venues too, and like music festivals, and
Yeah.
so it was the biggest music town. We going from Auburn.
Well,
like,
yeah, in
where
college.
where we started playing.
Yeah.
Which is like a tiny town in the middle of nowhere.
Opelika.
East,
Opelika.
basically
Yeah.
Opelika.
I love Opelika.
Opelika is
Same.
great.
Actually, it's
great.
kind of to me sort of a music town.
It's pretty artsy.
It is,
Yeah.
and like
Just that
they've like
downtown area.
really invested in that too, like bringing people, and like I know like the person that we work with, like the Cottonseed, like live like group have really like kind of revitalized that little like historic downtown
3 blocks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's awesome. Every time we go there, it's really sweet.
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's interesting, like like the neighborhood I grew up in. Like the schools had really good music programs. And I think that was more of my experience with music in Birmingham growing up, was just like being in like super immersed in choir, and really just choir for me from a really early age, or like in 5th grade, like doing the recorder karate. Like I just always had really great teachers that
What's
were.
the karate part of recorder karate?
You would learn a song per week, and then like on Thursday you go in and play. I would go in and play for Miss Portis, and if you played the song, you get a little string of like a karate belt color. And so you like play the levels all the way up to black belt, which was Ode to Joy. And then so you start with Hot Cross Buns, then you get to like the 6th belt, which is like When the Saints Go Marching In. And then for the black belt test, you do Ode to Joy.
Would it have to be flawless, or would she kind of give you a pass? She'd give you a little flub
I think she'd give you a flub or two and then give you the belt. But
if the heart was in it.
yeah, if your heart was in it. And honestly, if you like if you practiced enough to be able to get to that point, because like a lot of the kids were like not playing Hot Cross Buns by week 4 or something. But I remember it being like the thing that we all looked forward to in 5th grade was like getting our recorders and just like being able to have an instrument that was our own.
Yeah, it's good to know that the recorder tradition in 5th grade particularly is alive and well. Because I was way out in Idaho. 5th grade
great.
comes
Same thing.
around, Hot Cross Buns.
Yeah.
Rite of
Like
passage.
you're talking about the little.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
if you gave me a recorder right now, I could probably still play Ode to Joy.
Well, funny you mentioned
Amazing.
it.
Wait,
Let's put this to claim to the test.
I would, oh my
Come
God.
on.
Good,
Why is he
good
shaking?
King Wenceslas, let's go.
Come on.
So it was mostly like in the school.
Yeah.
And were you the kind of guy who volunteered for solos or got called for them? Were you
Got
like the
called for
standout?
them. Definitely got called for them. By the time I was in like middle school choir, I joined show choir in 7th grade, and I was like scared to do solos, but there was only a few, the middle school choir boys are few and far between. So, I would get called.
What
every
would
once in a while.
compel you? Like, did you getting called? I guess you don't have a lot of choice.
Yeah.
But at some point, you maybe decide that you like to do it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, probably after that first time when you sing the solo and you're like, and people like cheer for you,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh,
It's addictive.
hey, wait, maybe there's something to this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was probably the moment. And then that was like, I got my first solo in 8th grade, and I remember like singing it for the first time and like my hands being just like wet. And then like hearing, like some people cheer.
What
or,
song
like,
was it?
Love Can Build a Bridge.
Love can go.
Just so funny. But yeah, just remembering being like, oh, like maybe this is a thing. Like singing for people.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, I ask because I can point to in my formative years exactly my version of that. But
Yeah.
I was always like, I loved girls a lot when I was a kid, and they didn't
course.
love me back.
Yeah.
But I could fucking sing.
Okay. See?
I remember though.
yeah.
Sometimes I wonder in my like sadder moments, like if I'm, when you have a moment of doubt and you're like, did I take a wrong turn way back when?
Yeah.
And when I want to indulge myself, I think back to what was a pivotal moment in my young life, which I was like a junior in high school, and I had this band called Clockwork Orange, Blake Moffitt and Nelson Salisbury. What's up, guys? And I mean, we were like kind of like into it, for
Yeah.
Twin Falls, Idaho, as much as you
Yeah.
could be. We played Mormon stake dances because those were the options available.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's the part of the world I
Yeah.
grew up in.
I mean, that's kind of similar. I mean, like eventually when I got into the guitar and stuff, like being in the South, like church was kind of the
church
way.
and music go like
Yeah. Hand in hand.
I feel like most people that I talk to in this context and maybe in this genre or greater genre have some connection to a childhood that was in church.
Yeah.
Those songs, man, you sing all the time. It's a good way to get
When you're performing and
Yeah.
like you're and yeah, like you get
Probably the first band
a lot of
I
experience.
really ever played in was a church group.
And nobody at church is going to come and be like, "You fucking sucked, man."
Yeah, they won't.
That was terrible.
They'll say bless your
They'll be
heart.
like, "Oh
but
my God,
we
bless
you
your
up there.
heart." Yeah,
We'd get
you're
there
trying
early,
so
like-
hard.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it'd be 8 a.m. practicing to Tool and like be like warming up with metal music right before this like really sweet worship service. Yeah.
Jesus digs
That was
metal
the
too.
best.
What
Yeah,
What
I
did you play in the praise and worship?
I had guitar.
Yeah.
I play drums a lot too. Yeah.
Oh,
When
you
I
You
could.
started on drums, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I was always so excited when the drummer couldn't show up, and I could just
Stand
Go
in.
back and play.
get to.
Was
bang
it a
some
real
drums.
kit or was it like the electronic one?
It was a real kit.
I
but-
just want to picture it.
But this was like a smaller. They like stuffed the band session like away and in this basement, you know, so it wouldn't disturb like the real service going on.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay, so you guys got excited. You met each other. You playing acoustic covers during college,
Yeah.
undergrad. Meanwhile, studying to do grown up things, music education,
music ed for me.
and
Yeah,
Business.
business accounting,
Yeah.
business. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, just business management, really.
Okay.
Because I'd wanted to do music business. Auburn didn't offer it, and my advisors advised me to not get a music degree, but to just get a business
That's
degree,
hilarious.
and then do music, but get the business degree on the side. You know? Yeah.
That's like such annoying sound advice.
it was
such
of
good
people
advice.
that are aimed at the middle.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a bunch of 20-year-olds telling a bunch of 17-year-olds what to do.
Yeah.
It's like
Great.
you probably
goodness, like,
don't want to be a music major.
You realize if you actually want to make it a career, it is a business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
at some
you
point,
have
yeah.
you have to kind of create a business.
That's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
pretty good for you, Joseph. That you
Oh,
Alec
yeah.
were in the band. You
Yeah.
had a little
Yeah.
bit of a sense.
And I
of-
was like, I knew a little bit about how to
Sure.
do stuff, book shows and whatever, but
Yeah.
it really was when John joined.
John
that it
was our
like-
saving grace there. I would say like
he doesn't look smart.
looks can be
he's
deceiving.
A tyrant, I'm telling you.
Nice.
No, we are very much, I think, on the artist brain side of things. Even though Alec did study business in college, I would say that we both just like came together on the like musical side of things, and we were a little bit aimless. Like we had these songs and we were like, we love these songs, but we don't really know what to do with them. We're just like playing a bunch of cover gigs and stuff. And once John like kind of heard our songs and then was like, hey, do you guys need a drummer? He really kind of changed how we like approached things and just started kind of like, okay, I'm gonna email all these people in the 3 closest big cities to Birmingham, and we're gonna start playing with like my friend Jordy, and we're gonna like start doing all these things. Like he kind of had a strategy, whereas like we had all the like wherewithal to write a bunch of songs and play them all the time, but we were just kind of like going.
And
What
we were
next? Yeah.
booking shows
Yeah.
here and there, but there wasn't like an overall
There wasn't,
plan.
there wasn't a plan. It was just kind of like, hopefully somebody hears us or something like that. And honestly, John was probably that person that needed to hear us at that point, because he kind of really, like, we're definitely type B people, and he was that type A person that came in and was like, okay, I love what you guys are doing. It's great. It's disorganized. This is what we need to do.
And we had a conversation about being like, how can we use our time the most efficiently? Like,
Yeah.
you guys don't need to be like, focus on the music and focus
Yeah.
on that and let me do this. And
Yeah.
then, plus he could sing
And play
harmonies
drums
and play drums at the same time.
incredibly.
It was like- it was a great combo.
Yeah.
But
Real Karen Carpenter, that John.
Yeah. Yes. Legitimately, yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The funny thing was, it was a little uncomfortable at first, just being like, oh, we have to actually work hard at this.
Yeah, this is not what I got into this for.
No, I was hoping
music's
that.
supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, put us in front of a crowd. Like, I feel like we
do
cared
it.
deeply about putting a good show on every time we did. But
Yeah. But we just didn't have the language or the like knowledge for what goes around it. Like, how do you get to playing at Saturn in Birmingham or something like that? Like, what do you even do? What are the steps you even need to take? So
And the thing is, John didn't didn't know either, but his brain was like, but I'm going to make it my priority to figure out how.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Have you gotten better at it? Do you think a little bit more? To me, that's like strategic thinking.
Yeah. I try not to at all. I think if I start to think for me, when I start to think of it as a business or think of it as a thing that has to like sustain or provide or whatever, it starts to like mess with like my gauge on like the songs themselves, or I'll be like a little bit worried about that or something. I try and like stay pretty out of it as far as that's concerned. And if it's like strategic, it's more like, what does the world of this album need to be versus like what is the like business approach to this or something like that, or what is the angle? I feel like I'm trying to like, I don't know, at the end of the day I'm still just kind of like trying to be like that 15-year-old that was teaching myself guitar and writing songs at the same time in my room. Yeah. And just like really trying not to ever lose that.
There's so many ways this conversation could go, and I'm excited about all of them. Yeah. I'll try to pick one. So in a sense, if you could like think of like strategy as being like the forest more than the trees, I feel like in what you just told me was that you might have that mindset within the context of the music and the creative. You might think about like, how does this song hold with this song on the same record? How can we, use a similar sonic palette to make them belong together? Which is not exactly strategy, but there is a little bit of it's like a bigger picture thinking.
Yeah. Like a cohesion thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up question to that is, listening to your catalog, the 2019 release is quite a bit different sonically from the new record Werewolf that's coming up.
Yeah.
What has changed, and has that been a conscious evolution or more of a voyage of discovery?
Ooh. I mean, so much has changed. Like our lives have changed so much. I mean, like I've been through like marriage and divorce, and John is like now gotten married, and like we're all like, we used to like, most of us used to live together, and now we're all kind of spread apart. I think that as far as like musically, every album that we've gone into, we've made a conscientious choice to try and take a step away from where the last one was, or like maybe it's just like how our brains work. Like I'm pretty scatterbrained, and I feel like I don't stay interested in the same exact kind of thing for a really long period of time. So like also the first 3 albums, we were very much like making them in the studio. We were trying to do really fun and cool things with like all the gear that we had like available to us through Micah, through our producer, and like making those conscientious choices to be like, all right, let's lay down the drums and the bass, and then Alec will lay down his guitar part, and we'll really think about it, and everything will kind of, it's not like it's painstaking, but all of our parts and all of our notes were very much more like, I think like built piece by piece. Whereas with this album, we walked in to the studio with all of our arrangements basically ready, kind of going back to what we did when it was just the 3 of us, with Alec and John and I, like working on our first 5 songs at 11 a.m. every morning in Alec's basement. We would just really hammer out those like arrangements and really try and figure out what was the perfect thing to play together. And when we went to make this album, that was kind of like we were like, let's get back to that. Let's get back to being just a band again. Yeah. Not that we weren't by like laying things over the top, but like, let's all play together. Let's do these songs where all 5 of us are plugged up and we're reacting to each other in the moment, rather than reacting to something that's already been put down, because it's just a little bit more organic. I think there's like a Klaus Vormann quote or something that is like, that is what music is about, is like the musicians in the room reacting to each other and playing off of each other. There's something that you can't recreate when, like, if you're just doing it piece by piece, that is like really special.
It's because you have to like almost reverse engineer it for the show. And being a band that's played together.
When you do it the studio.
When you do it the studio way.
Layer way. Yeah.
And there's a beauty. There's so much value in the studio thing, because you can explore deeper and further musically sometimes. But we were like, we've been doing this for 10 years. our live show is something we have so much fun doing and playing. And I definitely, it was, to answer your question, I think a very conscious decision.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
This record, let's write songs. Like, what is it that made us so excited to do music together in the first place?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
shout out to First Place, the album.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it that made you so excited to do music in the first place, back when it was just you two?
It's
hard to put in words.
Yeah, that's
just something about. It's hard to describe with words. I think we were just like, this is fun. Like, this works. For me, it was like, I feel like we had came in with these unique strengths personally that were very different but meshed very well. And I feel like this record was almost just getting back to like, what are the things we do the best and have the most fun doing?
Yeah.
Them.
Singing together.
Yeah.
Like turning up the fucking guitar amp.
Yeah.
Like all those kinds of things. Like just being a band. Like really.
Just having fun and like playing your instruments.
Yeah.
Just like pouring all the emotion into all of it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think like we're all in this for like the hope, or like I think like everybody that is a musician or listens to me. I mean, every human, like it's like the universal language, and I think that was like our way of tapping into it was starting the band, and then like we had kind of made 3 albums and gotten to this point where we were like, all right, well, how do we get back to like finding that love again, or like finding, not that we hated it or not that we were burnt out or anything, but just kind of like finding the joy of like playing again.
Well, it would make sense to have an opportunity to work with someone like Micah, that you want to take advantage of his
genius,
supreme mind. And like, man, I'm game. Let's travel. Let's astral travel. And see what happens. So obviously that would be like a reasonable thing to explore, and then simultaneously, like having done that, to go like, okay, that was cool. Like, what are we again? Like,
and I think that's it. It was like we wouldn't have made Werewolf had we not just made Bluebeard.
Yeah, which was almost like we went into Bluebeard being like, let's make the coolest fucking like indie studio record. Like, let's make it sound the best. Let's use all of the weird things, any weird idea. Let's like do it and see what happens. And
we drove out to the Canadas, have this mountain house, like family house in Sky Valley, Georgia.
Sky Valley.
And where we would just go do writing retreats together, the 4 of us. But Micah, when talking about this record, he was like, well, what if I just drove my studio
up there
out to the mountains for 2 weeks? And we just recorded a whole record there. And so, And
I feel like, even the other 2, First Place and Yard Sale, were a little bit of us going like, like we know we're a live band. Like that was always kind of, at least for me, I would say like sometimes in the processes of recording it, like it was almost a like, we know we're a live band. We know that's what everybody wants. And that's like kind of what like we've hung our hat on for however long we've been a band, but like also like we can do this too. Like we can make a really cool studio album. And then I think after coming out of Bluebeard, we were kind of like, let's get back to being a band again. Just like kind of like, let's plug up and play.
What's the song that, back up and say that if I were to, my gut feeling on reading the interviews and bios and stuff is that you built up your following by shows, like a fan
1,000%.
Right.
Yeah.
So as opposed to like viral videos. You could say. What is the song that's like done best for you that's in that world, the social media world or the non-live show world?
Interesting. That's a great, I mean,
okay, that's it. Yeah, it's interesting. I would have thought that you would have just come right back and been like, oh, it's the.
I mean,
it's probably it's halfway up for sure.
The first Masks was the first one we released as a full band, which early before we'd ever.
That's 2016.
Like
that's before we met Micah.
Yeah, before we had a booking agent, but before we'd ever played an original show. But it was the first time we released something, and it was like, oh, this is helping. It was like the next day we booked the show that we had been like hadn't been able to book for years.
Yeah, it was like somebody heard the song and they're like, oh wait, yeah, you can. Tune. And like early on with Masks, we got on the global, like the Viral 50 playlist when it had just started in like the Spotify Viral 50.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first moment where we saw something that wasn't a show like drive us forward. And so then when we did Halfway Up, that was probably the next moment when Halfway Up came out and it was like this totally different thing. There's like auto-tune on it and triangle and like this bridge that has no words.
Micah Tawlks, like
Micah.
First song we did with him.
Yeah.
And he's a magician in the studio.
And so I think those two probably are the songs where we were like, we like felt that happening outside of us, like on a stage or something like that. So
did Micah do the Werewolf record?
Oh yeah.
So how was that for him to have you guys go be like, experimentation is cool?
He was as much a part of the ideation and of the like, let's just do this live record as any of us in the band, I think. And he played bass on it.
Yeah, he was part of the band.
Yeah, he was like essentially part of the band, and we would just, I mean, that like most of the production for Werewolf happened on the first day. We walked in and we had like Brad King who engineered, and then Micah, and they were figuring it out. And they were figuring out like a bunch of the sounds and stuff. And we were kind of like, all right, how many songs can we play in just this configuration? And we basically played them all, except for like maybe Moving Along, which is the last track. That's just basically acoustics. But
which we still did like in that room.
In that room all together. Yeah. So I think that he was just as excited about the idea of that as we were, and it was like this full on like full collaborative, like let's do it, let's make what our version of a rock and roll record would be. And he's really special to us. He's always been like our biggest supporter, and also like just kind of like part of it,
almost like a fifth member. Really, like writing it feels like family with him, where we're like, we could just sit and make records with Micah
forever,
every week. Forever.
Oh, if I could do it every week.
I know, right?
Before we got rolling, we were just talking off mic about like building out your team, and when you had the opportunity to add like an agent, and you've been with him for 8 years or a while now.
Yeah, I think like years. It's 2018. I feel like is when we first got on with our booking agent.
And when you were talking with about Micah with such fondness and saying, we could just make all the records with him, it reminded me when we were talking what I was thinking about, which was that like there's always this interesting tension between sticking with what you know. In that, even that could mean the way you play or the genre or having team members versus trying something new.
Of course.
And I relate to you that story about when I was in a band, in my very first band, and some of the, not everybody was kind of whatever. We made some changes and it just destroyed the band.
Yeah.
We took a chance on something new, and it just like it totally ruined it. And I just observe that I really admire, or it seems like it's a really good idea for longevity. To stick with, if not what like the people that have gotten you this far.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's times that like when artists maybe make a change or make a management difference, maybe they do get to play bigger rooms. Maybe their career does take off, but I think just as often they burn a bridge they can never come back to.
Yeah. Or you like lose a thing.
You lose the thing. I mean, and I was thinking about that too. It's like, your agent is like shows you his top 50, his top bands, and you're the only one he books that's in the very top of what he listens to. And there's just like such a, it's bigger than financial payoff. It's meaningful.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Which is another conversation at the beginning of this record. It was like, what in the spirit of getting back to why we do this in the first place, it's like, what's going to make us excited to do this together for the next 50 years? Like,
the most.
And it's going to be enjoying being around each other and enjoying the music we play. And I think Micah, not only is he an incredibly talented producer, he's such a good, just a wonderful human. And has been such a great just influence on everyone.
Yeah.
Or like the environment the second we get in the studio is just
Yeah. I mean, it
like,
really, yeah.
it's our family. Like
The last two albums specifically have felt like you go to summer camp and you're hanging out with all the people that you like love the most. And you're just like, you know, you're doing all your favorite things for this like 2-week period. And then like at the end you walk away and you feel like just like incredible, or you feel like you've like grown, or you feel like you've like really accomplished something.
Yeah.
I don't know what gets accomplished at summer camp in real life.
Right.
But
Yeah. Well, we're like the end goal is
yes,
it's like
we all made out for this album.
we all made out. Well, in some ways, it's like the end of summer camp isn't the point of it. It's like enjoying making what you do meaningful while you're there. And like there is a thing where, yes, you can work with people you really don't like or enjoy being around, and it can be successful, but I doubt you'll look back on it and be like, that was great. Like, if you didn't really enjoy being around those people. And I don't know, I just feel like it's really important, especially with people you work with over the years. 'Cause like you pour a lot of yourself into that space and relationships, and
I mean, and we're like, in music you're literally dealing with like vulnerability on like the top level. Like you have to be able to, like, the songs are about like us, and like like they involve us, and so you have to be able to like really trust that person and love that person and be comfortable. I feel like at all times. There's a difference between like being comfortable in your setting and then like also like pushing yourself to the boundaries with those people that you're comfortable with. I feel like that you can like kind of achieve both of those things, like getting that experimental thing, but also like being able to retreat back into this group that we've been around for like, honestly, like at this point, it's like our entire adult lives. So
I was wondering what, if anything, changed for you guys as a band, and maybe outside of the studio, when you moved to Nashville, like before and after moving to Nashville. And imagine like stakes were a little higher, although Birmingham's only 3 hours away, so you can always tap out. But there's a seriousness with which one must conduct oneself in this town.
Yeah, of course.
And did that affect you, or did you? There's also here's another thing about the Nashville. I think that's really hard on especially young people who are finding their voice. It's an industry town. People are here to make money. And they have opinions about how to do that. And often those opinions reflect like what's hot right now.
Yes.
And it can be hard for a young person, or really anybody, to like not get thrown into the sausage hopper. So I don't know. I'm just throwing that at you guys. And did you have to deal with that, or were there people out, having opinions about it? Or you were still maybe finding your own voices? Or
we were already. I do think having started the band in Birmingham and already having a few years under our belt, like protected us from.
I was going to say that
here, and we were such a unit already.
We felt a little insulated from all that.
Yeah, like we felt at home with each other. And it's like, so I didn't have to deal with, because I feel like if you move here and you're really talented but don't know anyone yet, it can be really daunting.
It just feels like a huge mountain.
But
we had already like played some shows. We had already like sold out like a 200 or 300 like ticket show in our hometown, and like we had already done some things that aren't like that just kind of, I think, made us have some confidence in what we were already doing. So we kind of were able to hold on to that when we moved up here.
What was one of the first shows you played when you moved to town? Or where?
Oh gosh.
Oh, we played at this place.
Was it the Back Corner?
The Back Corner was one of the first ones.
It was in.
I don't know if it's still called the Back Corner.
It was in Germantown.
It was like an EDM lounge, which is hilarious. There were like couches all along, and like there was an LED wall that was like clearly set up for DJs. And we played there. Our first show in Nashville ever before we moved up here was at the Crying Wolf.
Nice.
And it was rest in peace.
Another one.
And it was literally in the like storage closet kind of part of the Crying Wolf, where there's like that small room with all the big white walls. That was the first time we ever played here. And I remember being like, shit, we're in, like we are in Nashville. Like there was a little bit extra like something pressure or something.
Well, we played there was a house show, which may have been the first. I can't remember. In a far show somewhere in there.
Wait, was that the house show that I didn't make though?
No. There was a different one. It was in like the winter time.
Okay.
But,
because there was a house show in Nashville that we were supposed to play at that my car didn't make it. There was some bad weather and I didn't trust my car. And so I was like, guys, I'm not coming. And John ended up having to sing.
Yeah. I remember. John and I both were just
They took the lead vocals and drums. Yeah.
One thing we haven't touched on yet, especially for a band that's built its reputation on the live shows, are the fans. And what is your relationship to your fans? Are you like really interactive? Are they very vocal? You have like super fans?
We've got a few. We've definitely got a few super fans. I feel like we're the most interactive like on the road. And like it's always, I think like it's like the whole like Instagram TikTokification of the whole industry or whatever has like it at once gives you a little bit more of a closeness to your fans, but it also feels like there's a little bit of a barrier. So I feel like I enjoy it the most when we're on tour.
What do you mean by that? The barrier of social media.
Oh, just, everybody's performing.
Yeah. That's I thought you meant.
You're marketing yourself.
Yeah. And like we have to market ourselves and it's just like,
it's a stage.
It's a stage, and it's like there's all the researchers out there that like that it's literally cratering our brains. Yeah. Like the social media thing is kind of like
it's terrible,
it's terrible.
It's the opposite of live music too. It's the opposite of that.
The beauty, the upside of it is you got to remember you can actually connect with people.
Yes,
it is real humans you're connecting with, but I think it's also just the frequency of it, too, and how short everything is, and
the like instant gratification that immediately just like dies.
Yeah,
like once you kind of like look up from your phone and realize you're sitting in your living room by yourself or something like that.
Something that's just like haunting to me these days. I like just even walking the dog in the neighborhood or walking my daughter up and down the street. It's just how often, it's more often than not, I'll pass somebody walking their dog and their heads bent over their phone. Or you go to a restaurant and they'll be like, all 9 of these people are staring into the screen. This is like dystopian.
Yeah.
And I feel like the live thing, among my 2 or 3 passions is, or causes, you could even say. I don't have many causes that are really worth expending actual energy.
Yeah.
But one of them is live music and getting people out to see it because it's so therapeutic in a way that's better than therapy.
Yeah.
It's just like having, participating collectively in an attempt to reach joy is so timeless.
And we were talking about that earlier, like what is it that brought you into it? And that is perfect. That is literally, I think, the perfect description of like really what drew me to music and like feeling like I could like perform or do something like that in the first place is like my experiences like going to like this Frightened Rabbit show with my sister when I was in 8th grade and we were like in Purgatory in Atlanta and like it's hot and sweaty and just like the energy through the room is like something that you don't feel on a day-to-day basis. And like those moments that you have like musically with 250 people that you've never even seen before, but you feel this like thread connecting everybody. I think that is like what is so beautiful about what we've been able to do and like being a musician or being even just like a human that gets to experience music on at any point.
We were talking about this the other day about how the live show it's one of the last places where you get a group of people in a room that are just fully present with each other. And and I think it's one of the things that keeps me so excited. Not only is the thing that made it worth playing in the first place, but keeps me so excited to play well into the future, because playing for real people will never ever lose its inherent value and joy. And and maybe another reason why we were like like moved in the direction. It was the right time to move in this direction for this band. But
Yeah.
it's like I feel like the music we're making helps us to connect with the crowd and helps the crowd to connect with us and just
And to like stay human.
stay human. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And human in like a, like in a joyful,
Yeah.
fun, meaningful way. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of which, I feel like there's two other guys here, and if they joined you, then maybe we could hear one live in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we'll bring them out.
Do you want to set it up?
Yeah. Set up with the
Set
song
up
that
the
we're going to
song,
play? Yeah. So we're going to play a song called Can't Figure It Out, which is probably the first song that kind of came fully together for this album, Werewolf. Alec and I sat on his couch in June of 2024, and it was like when we got together to say like, oh, what do we got here for this album? And this was one of the first songs that like I played it for him. And then like I think there were 3 or 4 songs in that day, but this is kind of the one that felt like it was the rallying song on that day. So it's a song called Can't Figure It Out.
Let it rip.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I've been standing up, I've been trying to just give myself a break. I've been breathing in, now I'm breathing out. Nothing seems to take. Is it on my face? I've been stuck in place. Don't come looking for me, I don't wanna be found. I've been running on empty, floating around and round. What you wanted from me, I can't give to you now. Tried to fix myself, but can't figure it out. As I'm standing up, I start stretching out, covering up my tracks. All this petty shit, all that word of mouth, there's no looking back. 'Cause I know that face, I've been stuck the same. Don't come looking for me, I don't wanna be found. I've been running on empty, floating around and round. What you wanted from me, I can't give to you now. Tried to fix myself, but can't figure it out. Looking for me, I don't wanna be found. I've been running on empty, floating around and round and round and round. What you wanted from me, I can't give to you now. Tried to fix myself, but can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out.
That was fantastic. And
Thank you.
I was too busy operating the camera to notice, but when my daughter, who was here, Zuzu, baby Zuzu, she's really feeling it. The arm gets going. So I think she was giving you the Arsenio
Oh,
arm.
we got the arm. The Zuzu approval.
Mad props.
All the energy we needed.
I'm going to try to articulate something that's really hard, and I don't know if it's going to come out, but I'm going to try because I've been thinking about it while we've been talking about this conversation between like new and old. That's a reduction of a more subtle way you put it. But like the new record is kind of like in the 70s folk rock zone, pretty squarely in the best sense. That's like everyone knows that's when the best music happened.
It's undeniable.
I mean, the Laurel Canyon sound just all day long.
You can't beat it.
And you guys are nailing it.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much.
The harmonies. Yeah, it's just great. And I noticed that like when I set out, I came from like the Fish thing, which was like sort of new in the 90s, new sounding. It was like jam bands. That's crazy. They were like the Dead, except tighter. And that's what I thought when I was younger. Now I like the Dead more. But I love Fish too. No diss to anybody.
No diss.
And then I like I was telling you guys, I came across this David Grisman record and it was bluegrass, and I was so destroyed by then Tony Rice's guitar playing. He's a famous bluegrass flatpick, really great. And there was something so attractive about the acousticness of it and the stripped back. There was nothing that was helping that tone except the sound of Tony's pick on the strings and his mind on the notes and the facility. And, I was like, wow, that's a really high bar. You could you both set out to achieve something extremely difficult, to like play notes at high speed with finesse and inventiveness. And at the same time, this humility in the chords were so simple.
Yeah.
They're kind of folk songs.
Like three chords.
Yeah,
in the
three
truth.
chords. It was not hard. Yeah. Exactly. And that set me out for a long time. And I was excited about that. But then, and then I came across a guitar player named Bill Frisell. Have you heard of him? Do you know who that is? He's like a legend jazz player. I'm going to put that in heavy quotes. And he came up in jazz in like the 80s, and he's got he can play bebop better than anybody. All those early records. I mean, his mind is crazy. But he's got so many. I mean, for the last 20 years, he plays just like these simple songs with like a stripped down trio, often in jazz clubs. But they're like, he'll cover a Dylan song. He'll play like Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, like all 8 verses, except it's only a guitar, and it's like that stripped down. But it's so, to me, it's like forward. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. It's like new, with old, and that's part 2. Part 3 is I went to a couple of years ago at South by Southwest. That was when the show was happening. Morse Code was in there. We were having meetings there. Something, who cares? But there was daytime shows, like for the music section, and it was like a house show, and it was like Texas Hill country music, which I love, and I'm like, especially the singer-songwriter side of it, guy in Townsend. But it was like a backyard party, huge party, and it was bands playing, and it was just like very straight down the middle, like Americana, 4 on the floor music. And I was just like, these people were just eating it up, and I was really not into it. And I was just like, why am I not into this? And I'm like, God, it's because you got this like stick up your butt about everything having to be like new and for the first time. And it was like this realization I had of just like, one of the things that music does is the sound doesn't matter in a way. It's the energy underneath the sound. And if the energy like brings the present to the foreground, if it makes everybody present, then it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yes.
And it doesn't
God, yes.
It's, it's like, it's so, but I still feel like the question of trying to make something new is really valid. Yeah. But it's really hard to do that, especially with like rhythmic centered music these days, because it just does feel like it's all been done. Yeah. I mean, there's like that, there's nothing new under the sun. Yeah. Kind of saying, But it's never done the same way, even if it is the same chords. I mean, like you were saying, you can play 3 chords, but no one player plays it the same. As in, like, there could be a million emotions going through a guitarist's mind as he's hitting the strings that he's, like, pouring into it. Yeah. And that is being transmitted on some, like, some subconscious, level. For sure. Not that you're, like,
always thinking about it in the moment, but I think for me, it's like, especially musically, a lot of times I can feel it before I process exactly what it means. Which is I feel like a lot of, well, I don't know. We were listening to a lot of CCR and a lot of this old, like, you know,
Little Feat,
AC/DC, some of this stuff where we're like, they actually had all the same raw materials we have right now.
Yeah.
And they made it sound so good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because they added more and more and more and more chords. It was because they poured their hearts out into every chord they played.
Yeah.
And
Or did some like cocaine or something.
Well, that too.
Yeah, both and.
Both and.
But
Yeah,
like,
you're right. You're right.
But I think that's why music, there's only so many notes in the scale, but music will never get old because it's so human. Like, it's always going to be new and unique in its own way because a person's like putting their unique experience into the music at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think I just think it's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. And when you were saying that, I was like, yeah, there's this other thing that's happening too, because when you're playing music, you are, like you were saying, like the guitar player's not thinking about all those things that he's doing. He's just doing it and it's coming out the way he does it. Mm-hmm. And so there's this weird tension balance between the way that you play is the sum total of all of the ways that you've played in the past. And then like the pattern that is part of your body and part of your spirit. And that is it is always changing the more you play. Hopefully, you know, if you're awake to yourself and trying to like get better or try something different, it's changing, but it's like only changing a little bit at a time. And maybe it takes a very long time to change a lot. And maybe it never changes really, but it is like this interesting tension between like it's the past brought to the present. And that's what you do when you play. Whoa. I'm not even stoned right now.
I know. I mean, like,
stony talk, bro.
Some
truth,
heady
man.
shit. I feel like, I mean, like a lot of it is just so analogous to like just life too. I mean, like you're talking about that in like any room you walk into just in life, any conversation that you have, like you are this combination of all of your past selves and the person that you are in the moment. And I feel like that like music is probably like at least for me, I mean, I know like it's probably the number one like expression of that, or the number one outlet for that expression, because I feel like you can kind of like you can strip all of those like pretenses or the like nervousness that you have walking into a room for the first time, like of meeting somebody, like if it's just you and you're just like being honest and confronting yourself, or like just sitting in like the music, like I mean it is like I'm not stoned either, but it is just like
these things are hard to articulate. I think we just agree.
Yeah, it's just like I mean,
imagine if we were.
This would get crazy.
We'd get there quick.
Here for 5 hours.
Well, on a lighter note, there's a lot of exciting things happening. The new record's coming out.
Yes.
And what is the due-by date?
March 6th.
March 6th it drops.
Yes.
And you're trickling out singles in the meantime.
Yes.
When's the next one drop?
It did today. The day of this recording. Yeah, it did. A song called 105 came out. And then that's the last one that'll be out before the full album.
You did a cool thing too, where you can't even see the names of the songs. It's just track 1, track 2. What is it going to be called? That's crazy. Alec's like, really? That's cool.
Did we do that?
If you look at it on Spotify,
and there's a ton of shows coming up.
Yes.
So that's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the whole we made this album. We've been sitting on it. We've been really excited about it. We've been learning. Well, not even really learning. I mean, we've just been practicing the songs, and now we get to go play them for people and have that like communal experience every night, which is like I again, like we've been talking about what it is to be human and all of that kind of. I think it is so important to continue to have that and to continue to like push playing live and going out and like being in front of people as much as you possibly can, and just like being around people in general just as much as you can. So we're excited. I don't think there's ever been like, and I love all of our albums. I don't think there's ever been an album that we're collectively more excited to like actually go out and play on a night to night basis.
I feel like in a way, us consciously stripping down like and almost simplifying what we do best and what we enjoy doing best, like allows you to express who you are.
Yeah.
More. Like, there's like less bells and whistles and less things to cover. It's like, just like your voice, because the voice is always like that. Usually it's like, it's just you up there. And we had conversations about even the guitar where this record, Micah was like, Alec, I feel like you play best when your brain isn't focused on all the pedals, and it's just like crank up the amp and just play. And there's something like freeing about it too, because it's like, oh, you're not worried about the only reason it'll sound good is if I add this effect at this time. It's like,
it's like it's gonna sound. I'm making or breaking whether or not it sounds good or not. Just
play this until it sounds good.
Yeah.
Which makes it really it makes it way more exciting going into these shows, because it's like, oh yeah, I'm excited and confident about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about you guys. I'm going to come see the show.
The
Brooklyn Bowl.
the Brooklyn Bowl in the Bluff.
And that is March
26th.
26th. Record drops the 6th.
20 days later.
20 days later. And we'll make sure and put this out in advance of the record dropping. Or actually, probably we'll put it out right after the record drops.
Yeah, perfect.
That's cool. It's been so great to talk to you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for spending some time over here.
Of course. So much fun. I love this.
Yeah, it's a great place to spend time.
Love the band. Love the sound. Love the conversation. Love the vision.
Thank you.
Wait to see what's next.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go ahead and click here to like and subscribe. You can click right there to watch another video, or click here to watch a playlist featuring songs of the Morse Code podcast. Okay, thank you very much.